Straight up. Is this okay?
I was someone.
How does this?
Just like-
I'll get it. Once you put it connected. Yeah, that's like.
All right, everyone, I'm going to call the morning docket, if I can find a pen. All right, when I call your name, let me know you're here. If you don't answer, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. In custody, we have Destiny Argomedo, Daniel Salinas, Victor Mendoza, Julio Sanchez,
Stand up, please, when they call your name.
Ernie Sanchez, Xavier Doxy, custody. Jose Gilberto del Bosque. Thank you. Daniel Flores. John Albert Casanova Paez. Juan Tehran,
Stand up, sir.
Cameron Lawrence. In custody, Arturo Contreras, Jordan Robbins. Abdallah Insee. Arthur Beacham. Steve Terrazas. In custody, we have Vanessa Varela, Chris Lind, Juan Cuellar, Clayton Russell, Robert Shannon, Blas Casimiro is in custody, Richard Whitney, Angel Roman, Justin Barella, Quentin Cole, Juan Cuellar, Juan Javier Cuellar, Alejo Aguirre, Ellis Whittington, Robert Garcia, Leah Thompson, Isabel Trueblood. That- all right, that's a cool last name, and she's not even here. It reminds me of the series True Blood, right? Fernando Sanchez. Mhm. Alfredo Garza. Rodronique Jones. Thank you. Michael Williams, custody, Shane Rowley. All right. Dean Villarreal. Custody, Michael Kilgore, Corwin Campbell. Okay. Joseph Montemareno. Okay. Monica Guayardo, that's 11. Delgado, 11. Herbert King. Oscar Martinez is in custody. Gloria Orozco.
Judge, I'm present for her on Zoom.
All right, she's not here. Brandon Benavides, custody, Xavier Escobedo. Mario Miranda. Thank you. John Meyer.
She's present with counsel.
Where is she?
He is via Zoom. He's trying to show himself.
He's trying to what?
show himself. This is his
Oh, okay, I
first-
thought you said kill himself. I'm like, let's not do that.
No.
Am I the only one who thought he said that?
I thought you said that too.
Thank you. I'm like, let's not, it's Tuesday, it's not that bad. All right, anyone else whose name was not called or you came in late? All right, over here in the T-shirt, what's your name? I'm sorry, what? Paul Ruiz. Do you know who your attorney is? All right, these are important cases. You need to know who your attorney is. Just have a seat, we'll get with you. In it, yes, red shirt. Last name? Do you know who your attorney is? All right, just give us a moment.
Oh, I'm just for the.
Are you on the docket? Are you on the docket?
I didn't hear his name, so.
All right, just have a seat.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Sebastian Delgado, do you know who your attorney is? All right, thank you. Yes. Celine, last name? Do you know who your attorney is? All right, just give us a moment. Anybody over here? Yes. Do you know who your attorney is? All right, just give us a moment. All right, everyone, as you can see, it's crowded. So everybody, you're gonna have to have some patience in your pocket, take it out as needed. Today is Tuesday, it's Fiesta week. Everybody should be in a good mood. And if you're not in a good mood, you need to pretend you are, because that'll make your day so much better. Put a smile on your face. So to make it easy, please listen to my instructions and follow them. On this side, there are boxes for criminal trial division. They are sitting right there. On this side are the boxes for family violence. They're coming up with a new name for the division that sounds great, SVU or something. They are right here. So to all the defense attorneys, if you will just pull your file, place it on their table, have a seat, they will call you up when you're ready, because I try to keep the center of the room as least congested as possible. I don't have COVID or anything like that. I'm just dealing with the cold that I got from my beautiful one-year-old niece. So I'm trying to keep everything orderly so nobody else will get any colds for Fiesta. Do not approach the court coordinator for resets or continuances. I'm the only person who can give that to you. Do not approach me unless you talk to your client and confer with them and confer with the state. If you have an inmate who's in the back, ask that they be brought out. Do not ask for a reset or continuance or approach until your client is brought out. If you requested that your client be brought out and they're brought out, please don't leave the courtroom, because the deputies, for security reasons, can only have so many inmates in the box. And if your inmate is out here, that means that they can't bring somebody else out here. Okay? If your client needs an interpreter, but you speak their native language, they still need an interpreter for me. I didn't realize I was going to be in Texas. I thought I was going to be in Louisiana. So French is my language, not Spanish, not anything else. So once you request an interpreter, please don't leave, because there's a limited number of interpreters. And when they come down, they can only stay about 5 minutes. In this court, it's first come, first serve. The only exception is if you have somebody who needs an interpreter. Please do not pretend that everybody needs an interpreter, though, so that you can skip to the front of the line. All right, it's Tuesday. We're going to have a great day. Everyone, please confer and be happy. All right, Mr. McClain, your client, we are waiting for them to appear.
I just emailed her, Judge. I don't have a cell phone for her, but she's pretty responsive to that. So I'm hoping that she's going to appear. I gave her my cell number to text me when she gets in. So hopefully we take care of that. My understanding, I had a Brandon Benavides yesterday as well,
Yes.
for an MTR. I've got my mental health doc and I'm getting ready to pick up here in literally 3 minutes. But I'm depending on the length of that, I may be able to get into court today to handle that. I don't know if you brought them back over. If not, I may have to recall them for tomorrow. I don't know if you have a docket.
All right, we will see. All right, Mr. Bard.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your client is John Meyer.
Yes, ma'am. And he's now visible and he can now hear us. Yes, ma'am.
All right, and what are you here for with Mr. Bard?
I'm here on a motion to substitute counsel on his Mr. Meyer's 2 cases, Judge.
All right. Could I see the files on BARD, please? BARD. And here's-
Judge, the client's name is Meyer, Meyer.
Oh, I'm sorry, Meyer. You should not have any files, right?
I hope not. I believe that Brian Powers came by yesterday and visited with you about this, and you said put it on today's docket. The motions for continuance were filed yesterday, and I emailed courtesy copies to all the prosecutors that I understood were assigned to your court.
All right, so here's the thing. If you want to substitute in, you can substitute in, but his jury trial is May 2nd.
Yes, ma'am, and I have an issue with that. If I could visit with you for a second. I am preferentially set on May the 1st on an aggravated sexual assault of a case in the 390th District Court of Travis County. I have been working diligently on Mr. Meyer's case. I have prepared motions to suppress. And what I would like to do is ask the court to give me, this is his first trial setting, by the way. The dates of the alleged offenses are August the 8th and November the 1st. So what I would like to do is ask the court to allow me to substitute in and to remove it from the trial docket so that we can set this suppression hearings before the court.
Oh, the suppression hearing is going to run with the trial unless it's dispositive.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's going to remain on May 2nd. If you want to substitute in, you can substitute in. It's going to remain on May 2nd date. And if you're in jury trial on May 1st, you'll have to file a motion for continuance and I will hear it. But it's set for jury trial on May 2nd.
Yeah. I'm good with you leaving it then on May 2nd if you understand that I will be in trial on the 1st and may need to file a motion for continuance.
All right, state on John Meyer. Are you all going to have any objections to the substitution of counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, you're set for May 2nd.
Thank you very much, Judge.
You're welcome. You're excused.
And Mr. Mayor's excused as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Who's here on Richard Whitney? All right, come forward. Hello. Oh, no. All right, Mr. Whitney, come forward. All right, Mr. Whitney, today is your plea deadline date. Are you accepting the offer or no?
Oh, no, ma'am. I still need to go over the,
Everyone, please whisper, and could you speak up?
I still need to go over the evidence and stuff and
We've had some scheduling errors this morning, and this morning it was running late. We're supposed to meet this morning as well.
All right, well, meet
There is a lot of video, some of it play in my office, but I can't get it to play here. In all honesty, it might be difficult. I am going to try to go to that center. I was told about that where attorneys can go to watch all their evidence without issue, without technological issues.
When is that going to happen?
I think we can get it done within a week, Judge.
All right, Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
on this case, Whitney, can you call it back on May 1st? All right, May 1st is going to be your plea deadline date. Then after that, you're going directly to trial. You understand?
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, then you're excused. All right, Arthur Lee Beacham. Hi. You're here for this motion, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, we're here on the motion to modify, and I believe we're also set, have a trial setting today, Judge.
No, there's no trial setting today.
Okay,
It's just for this motion.
well, yes, Your Honor, we're ready to proceed. whenever.
All right, have you talked to the state?
I talked to him at the last setting, Judge. I don't think they're gonna come to an agreement.
All right, well, talk to them today and we'll see where we are. All right, just have a seat. Thank you. Joseph Montemareno.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. All right, where's your client?
He's in detention in Guadalupe County.
All right, so he's supposed to appear by Zoom. Is that correct, Ms. Ferguson? All right, so he's not on Zoom yet, so we'll take this up as soon as he appears.
Okay.
All right, thank you. John Casanova Paez.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Judge, I sent you an email yesterday afternoon. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it about this
Mm-mm.
case.
All right. So where are we on this? Hi.
So when we were here on March 28th, you appointed Teresa Coles Davila to write the Padilla letter, and we were all on Zoom. And I was still talking to my client. She came back and visited with you, and she tells me that you told her that she could have up to 30 days to write the letter. So she was planning on getting it to us by close of business on May 2nd.
Okay.
Before that, I had gotten a reset from April 17th, and I didn't learn until after we left the court that she had gotten more time. And so we were here on April 17th. Judge Angelini was here. He was very insistent that we have an answer quickly on the Padilla letter and asked me to contact the MAC because he didn't want to wait for Ms. Coles Davila letter. The MAC said they would have to start over as well, do a interview with our client, an intake interview, but they would also need time to research and write the letter. So we elected to stay with Ms. Coles Davila, and the judge gave us until today.
All right. Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
on John Casanova, can you recall this for May 4th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll come back on May 4th.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, you can leave as soon as you sign the letter. I'm sorry, the reset. And Norma, that's also a plea deadline date. All right, and let me all know when you all have conferred on Beacham.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Morning, Judge.
Morning.
Isabel Trueblood. She hasn't showed up yet. I texted her.
All right, you need to have them pull the file.
Okay.
Daniel Ramirez.
Counselor.
Deputy Laura, could you announce Isabel Trueblood? And Counselor, is she on bond?
Yes, she is. She's got 2 other misdemeanor cases pending. I've talked to her last month and I had a number, I think, that's still good. And I texted her this morning. I'll try texting her again if you could give her a day or 2 to get in because I've already conferred with the state.
Is she on a commercial bond? Do you know?
Mitchell Bond Service.
All right, have you tried calling them?
Not yet, Judge. I mean,
I mean, if you want to see if you can call them and see if maybe they can get her here before I have a hearing, because I'm not going to let her stay out there. She has an appeal report.
well, I can try to call her from my office and get a hold of them. I've tried texting and used the phone numbers that I was given with her, Judge.
Okay.
So I just,
Agreement on a motion.
All right, could I have a prosecutor, please?
blonde one was the one that,
Oh, it can be any prosecutor. All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 2276, State of Texas versus Isabel Trueblood. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Jay Moritz, Your Honor, from Mr. Trueblood.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 9:42 a.m. The defendant has not appeared in the courtroom. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement for Isabel Trueblood?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
All right, defense, have you had any contact with your client?
30 days ago, Judge.
All right, state.
Your Honor, the state would request a bond forfeiture.
All right, that would be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If she makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. No, I don't have that. Let me see. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, thank you. Here's this one. And Mr. Brawback,
Yes, ma'am.
they're online. We're just waiting for them to bring your client in the room.
Judge, do we need him if we have an agreed motion?
I'm sorry, what?
Do we need him if we have an agreed motion?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, sure, no problem. And I'll do that. On Isabel Trueblood, that's a bond forfeiture. Okay, thank you. Cameron Lawrence.
Present for Mr. Lawrence,
All right.
he is still in federal custody.
All right. Who are you conferring with?
At one point, I was conferring with Mr. Garrihan. We have not discussed an offer.
All right. Has anybody been in contact with the feds to see what's going to be happening with this case?
I do not know. I have been in contact with the federal public defender's lawyer. But that was some weeks ago. It was set for trial at one point. I think it's been rescheduled.
What are the charges there?
It is pending out of this case. There was a felon in possession that was dropped here and picked up by the feds. The thing pending here is an aggravated assault that
Yes.
led to the felon in possession.
And so you don't have a new court date?
I do not.
State, do you know what you're going to be doing with this case?
I'm sorry, I haven't confirmed with defense counsel.
Yeah.
He's in federal custody.
Judge, I'll have to figure out, I mean, it looks like there are notes, we have notes that he is being prosecuted federally on the felon in possession. It arises out of our case. So I can find out more details as to when, if he's been indicted, when they think that they're gonna move forward on their case.
I know for certain he's been indicted.
Okay.
I'm just not certain as to when his next trial date is.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Lawrence, give me a 45-day reset. And if you learn something before then, let the court know.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, June 15th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mario Miranda.
I'm present, Your Honor. Mr. Miranda is present in court.
All right.
Recall from yesterday. He came in late, but
All right, if he'll come forward. Have you had a chance to confer with the state?
I've already conferred with the state, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Miranda.
Yeah.
I'll just push.
All right, sorry about that. All right, so the last time we were here on the 24th, it was for discovery.
Yes, Your Honor.
So where are we on discovery?
We've got discovered the state. We're now preparing all our pre-trial motions. And preparing any defense we may have.
All right, so state, I need an acknowledgement of discovery today.
Yes, Your Honor.
State, did you tender an offer?
We have done, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Mario Miranda, I need a 2-week reset for a plea deadline date. All right, we'll be back on May 15th. You need to get a reset form from the coordinator and then you're excused. All right, Mr. Sawyer, it's always great seeing you.
Good to see you, Judge.
All right, have a good one. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Joseph Montemareno. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that yours, Montemareno, is the person in custody by Zoom. They're bringing him out now.
Okay.
He's right here.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you Joseph Christopher Montemareno?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So a judge's warrant was issued. And that was issued by a different judge.
And Your Honor, does it say on the file why that warrant was issued?
No, it does not.
Because that's what I was curious about too. Yeah.
All right, Norman, can you look up online and see why this warrant was issued?
I think he was in custody on that date, Your Honor, in Guadalupe County.
Yes, ma'am. Was.
Where were you? Oh, maybe it was because there was no proof that he was in custody. Were you in custody on March 9th?
Yes, I was in custody here in Guadalupe County.
Okay. And defense, I know you told me the notes from March 9th, which is not in my handwriting, states that you were saying that he was in Guadalupe County. So another judge issued a judge's warrant. Mr. Montemareno, were you on a commercial bond before the warrant was issued?
I'm unfamiliar with a commercial bond is. That I was on a regular, I bonded out with a second chance bonding, bail bonds.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you want to look and see if they will reinstate the bond, or do you want to confer with your client by Zoom?
No.
About the case?
I'll check and see if they reinstate the bond.
Thank you.
Right. And who was your bondsman?
It was, I don't know, it was second chance bail bonds.
All right, just give us a moment. If you want, they'll be able to tell you the number. I mean, tell you if it's second chance bail bonds. And if you want to call them and see if they want to get back on his bond, I'll reinstate the bond. Otherwise, I'll go along with your agreement of the bond to be set at 5,000. All right, so just give us a moment. Mr. Montemareno, we're going to see what's going on, okay?
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, are we ready on Arthur Beacham or you're still waiting? Okay. Bless you. Hey, that's not for me. All right, that one's done. Oh, Norma, I have those motions. Okay. All right, can I see the parties on Beacham? All right, are you all in agreement or no?
No, Judge.
Okay. All right, everyone, just stay right here. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 5669, State of Texas versus Arthur Beacham. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Lindsay Shaw for the state.
Defense?
Christine McDonald for the defense.
All right, and are you Mr. Beacham?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I have a motion before me to modify conditions of bond. State, have you had a chance to review that document?
Yes, ma'am.
State, are you in agreement?
No, Your Honor, at this time, the state does not want to agree.
All right, defense, do you have any witnesses or just argument?
I do, Judge.
All right, call your first witness.
Defense calls Alexandria Mills, Judge.
All right, and Mr. Beacham, if you'll just stand off to the side, please. Thank you. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you speak up so the court reporter can hear and so I can hear.
Okay.
If you'll state your name for the record.
Alexandria Mills,
All right, and can you spell your last name?
MILLS.
All right, defense?
Thank you, Judge. May I proceed?
Yes.
Good morning, Ms. Mills. Can you please tell the court how you're currently employed?
I work as an LPC for True Mental Health Services.
And how long has Arthur been a client with True Mental Health Services?
August 22nd, 2022.
And do you know what his diagnosis is?
Bipolar disorder.
And did you develop a treatment plan for Arthur?
I have done 2 treatment plans with Arthur. I've done an initial and a revision.
I am showing you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 1. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
And is this document made in the regular course of your business?
Yes.
Are the events that are reported near the time that the incidents occurred?
Yes.
Are they exact duplicates of the originals?
Yes.
And are you a custodian of records for True Mental Health?
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 2. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Can you tell the court what it is?
It's a treatment plan revision.
Okay, and was this made in the regular course of your business?
Yes.
Is it an exact duplicate of the original?
It is.
Was it made at or near the time of the incidents that they reflect?
Yes.
And did someone with knowledge create these documents?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to put into evidence Defense Exhibit 1 and Defense Exhibit 2. We can just have an extra copy.
No objections, Judge.
All right, defense exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted.
Opposed to it?
Yes.
Ms. Mills, can you please explain to the court why there are 2 treatment plans for Arthur?
So we do every 6 months through the state. They require something called an adult needs standardized assessment to determine levels of care.
Everyone, please whisper.
The level of care has to be reviewed and a treatment plan has to be developed every time we do an assessment. So every 6 months, we review the current treatment plan, we review the level of care, and we review presenting needs. On August 22nd, when I did Arthur's intake, we developed his initial treatment plan, and then 6 months later in February, as the answer needed to be updated for that 6 months, we reviewed it with Arthur and we made the revisions accordingly.
And this revision of the treatment plans, is that to keep as close to Arthur's needs as practical?
Yes, yeah, so Arthur contributes to the development of his treatment plan. He has say to empower him and to incorporate him into feeling as though he has control of his treatment. But ultimately, as the person who develops the treatment plan, we have the power to kind of like determine what is appropriate.
And can you tell me what goals and objectives were on his first treatment plan?
There was psychosis, there was depression, anxiety, and anger.
Okay, and you said that his treatment plan was revised. Can you tell me what was taken off or adjusted in the second treatment plan?
In the second treatment plan, the anger goal was taken down and we implemented a sleep focus goal for sleep hygiene practices.
Can you tell the court why the anger goal was taken down?
His anger was no longer presenting as an immediate need for treatment.
And is that because he has made progress to that goal?
Yeah, significantly.
Was he taught coping mechanisms or how did he reach that goal?
So we taught him healthy communication skills to expressing his anger. We taught him coping skills to deal with. Communication skills, coping skills, distress tolerance, frustration management.
And did Arthur actively participate in meeting those goals?
Yes, Arthur is very active.
And how many times a week is Arthur seen by his case managers?
Minimum 2, usually 3 to 4.
And how is his attitude during these sessions?
Oh, he's really proactive. He's really engaged in treatment. My case managers really like going out to see him.
Does Arthur seem motivated toward reaching his current goals and objectives?
Yes.
And have true mental health case managers had the opportunity to work with Arthur while he was under full house arrest?
Yes.
And how did being under full house arrest affect his mental health?
It significantly contributed to depression.
Did it affect him in any of his physical?
Yes. Because of the house arrest, we had to find ways of getting him his psychiatric and physical health addressed within the home.
Have case managers had to have the case managers that you sent to Arthur's home had to use their time to address the monitor and the stress that it's causing Arthur?
Frequently.
Okay. And in what way do they address this?
They work with him in addressing the impact that it has on overall mood and self-perception.
Okay, and if that were to be removed by the court, would the case managers be able to utilize their time on different different goals and objectives that they have for Arthur?
Yes.
Has Arthur?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, just 1 second. So I've read through the reports. I'm not going to remove the monitor, but my question is, State, do you have any objections to tracking? And Mr. Beacham, the reason why I'm not inclined to remove the monitor, I'm sorry.
I'm not mad.
Oh, no, thank you. Come forward, Mr. Beacham. Let me explain something to you. All right. The reason why I'm not inclined to remove the monitor is because we have the mental health issues going on. I'm not the person who placed you on the monitor, but we have mental health issues. And then we have the fact that the nature of the offense. So I'm leaning towards just doing tracking.
And Your Honor, I was going to get to that. He is on tracking only right now with the curfew, but I believe from my
no, there will not be curfew. It will just be tracking.
Yes.
And the state, you will let him know what area, if there's wherever the complainant is or something, if you don't want him in that area, you let him know.
Yes.
But it seems to the court, the fact that he has a case manager, which I did a lot of work with people who have mental health issues, and the key to their successes have always been they have a case manager. There's somebody they can talk to. The case manager sees them on a regular basis and they know them and have developed a relationship where they can talk to them. So it seems to the court from reading defendants exhibits 1 and 2 that I've seen improvement with his progress. And the witness has told me that they see him, 2 to 6 times per week. So to me, I think tracking without a curfew. I remember your case. I remember the last time he wanted to work out more and he wanted to go to different places. So I don't see any issue with that. Thank you. And I'll still do the other safeguards we had in place. I know I said, he could spend time with, I think there were minors that, I want to say, I remember it was some relatives, siblings, yes, who were underage. And my concern was any anger issues he may have because, how children are, that there be supervision, that there's somebody with him during that time period. So I'm still going to have that, but I'm inclined to just have tracking with no curfew. So state with regards to that and with, him knowing you can't have any contact with the complainant, you can't go where the complainant works or where they live. Would you be in agreement with that?
We would for that. I think our main concern was just based on the nature of the case, some sort of tracking be involved, but if the court is inclined to keep him on tracking, but remove the curfew, the state would be in agreement with that.
All right, so that's what I'm going to do. So if you all will get together and craft your motion so that you can put in the motion And they can just pull a B page, so you can put in there where he should not go and the name of the complainant. Because Mr. Beacham, the only thing the court knows about your case is what you're charged with and the name of the complainant. I don't know the location or anything of that nature. Okay. Well, we're gonna get that done for you. And let me see, when is your next court date? You don't have another court date. And I know he's still doing his treatment.
Just on the docket, I didn't mean to interrupt, just sorry. He is on the docket today for a trial setting. I can update you as far as what's going on with further.
I don't have him today for a trial setting. It's just for motion. I mean, that's what I have written.
Okay.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, let's reset this for 30 days. And you're gonna be ordered and put it in the order that he's continue with his case manager and continue with treatment. All right, so what date, Ms. Ferguson?
May 30th.
All right, so we're gonna come back on May 30th. And I just wanna, the reason why I'm not giving you a trial date yet, I wanna make sure that your treatment providers and your mental health providers are saying that he's ready to actively participate in his defense.
Yes, Judge. Can I briefly update you as far as the competency motion that I filed in further support?
Yes.
Judge, just so the court is aware, we've requested a trial regarding competency. We're in agreement with the conclusion that my client is not competent and will not be restored. But once we reach that point, the state has very limited options on what they can do to resolve the
Yes.
case. And we're asking for a trial to determine if civil commitment is appropriate. We don't think it is, Judge, and we've requested a date from the judges.
All right, so I'll keep it up here on this date for May 30th, so I can keep track of it. I don't like cases to fall through the cracks, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I return the motion to the defense. If you all can write that information in, then I will sign it. Is there anything else?
Not at the state, Judge.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Mr. Beacham. All right, yes.
In the system, just make it writing or?
No, because since he's on bond, it doesn't necessarily have to be a phantom date for him because they have whatever date they have in Carruthers Court. Yes. And if you see that this date is interfering with Carruthers date that you have, just come up here and reset it. All right. Is there anything else?
Oh, no.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate case managers because I know they do a lot and you have to go out and make sure that you stay in contact. So when you find a good case manager, it's great. All right. Thank you so much for coming in. All right. If you'll sign that and we will do it.
Judgment approach.
Yes.
Spoke with China at second chance. She said they'll reinstate it.
All right. So Mr. Is it Montemareno?
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Montemareno. Okay. All right, we're going to go back on the record. 2023 CR 1270, State of Texas versus Joseph Montemareno. State Defense Counsel called the bondsman, and the bondsman is really willing to reinstate the bond. Do you have any objections?
No, Judge.
All right, and the court will note that the defendant was in custody in another county, and that is the reason he did not appear in court on March 9th. In defense, have you conferred with the state on the case?
I'm conferring with the state at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Moreno?
May 30th.
All right, you to come back on May 30th, Mr. Moreno.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're good with him?
Yes, thank you so much.
Not a problem. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Judge, may I approach?
Just one moment. Norma, what page is Moreno on?
He's on the recall.
All right. Yes, she wanted to approach counsel.
Judge, I'm out of state on that week. Can I do it the following week?
The only thing is your client has been told May 30th and he's left the Zoom. All right, would you be able to do it by Zoom potentially if you're out of state?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let them know that you, we'll make a notation that you'll be by Zoom, but your client will be present.
Or if we can do it before then, we'll see. I'll confer and see if we can reach agreement before.
Okay, all right, thank you. Ellis Whittington,
Morning, Judge.
good morning. Where's your client? All right, and counsel, you're on this side. Hello, good morning. So what is happening with this case?
Judge, just got indicted. This was my dad's case. He's listed as the attorney of record. I need to get that correct at this point, and it's his first setting since the arrest. And I have the reports. We just need to go over the videos, Judge. We get 30 days. I'm hoping the case can be disposed of.
All right, have you received all the discovery?
No, Judge. I think the videos are probably uploaded. I can't get access because my dad's the attorney of record and he doesn't have access anymore. So I have to get my name transferred on the case, but that will only take a couple of days. And so if you give me 30 days, I'm pretty sure I can review all the discovery. I expect all the videos are probably on e-discovery. I just don't have access to them because of the attorney of record situation.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Whittington?
May 30th.
All right, we'll come back on May 30th.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ms. Ferguson will give you the form and then you're excused.
Oh.
No, yeah, it's ABB.
Angel Roman.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's his first name.
Good morning.
How are you?
All right. Counsel, you're on this side. All right, today is your plea deadline date.
We were gonna, I'm sorry, I got asked to extend the plea deadline. I thought we were here for a regular setting. He has a potential job opportunity tomorrow that he's hoping to finalize. So before we entered into a plea agreement, I just wanted to know what that situation is gonna look like for him because it's a fairly good job in the oil field. So I just wanted to make sure we could be aware of what his travel and his time away would be before we accepted a plea agreement with classes and all those things.
All right, when will he know this?
I don't.
Probably next week or so.
Sorry, yes.
I'm sorry?
Within next week.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 3-week reset on Angel Roman. May 15th? All right, that will be your plea deadline date. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, then you're excused.
And when the court has a chance, I'd like to approach on our docket, agreed motion, if that's okay.
Sure. Okay, no problem. Oh, no problem. Jose Del Bosque.
Mr. White. Mr. White.
All right, I need the state on Del Bosque.
Oh, switching sides. That's right. Every court is different.
Yeah. All right, on this one, states you were supposed to amend the indictment.
Well, yes, we are in agreement to amend it. I can file an actual amendment, Your Honor. But I did also provide an offer today to the defense counsel.
Okay.
And we just got an offer today, Judge. So if I can have some time to review with my client in my office and go over all the options, that would be appreciated.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Can I have a 3-week reset on Del Bosque for plea deadline date, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that will be the last extension for plea deadline date. After that, it'll be a quick turnaround for jury trial.
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right, just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson, then you're excused.
And Your Honor, I will file that amendment.
All right, thank you. Yes. I think, should I write them down? All right, and this last case, that was for the 15th, correct? Shane Riley.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This is the first time I've had contact with my client, Mr. Riley. We didn't have a good contact number for him before.
Everyone, please whisper.
We spoke out in the back hallway for a while, and based on some things that he's told me, I think I'd like to file a motion to have him evaluated by a doctor.
Okay.
So I'd like the court to please grant me a reset for those purposes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Shane Riley. Can I have a 45-day reset, please?
You're
welcome.
Can you give us some help? I mean, the deal.
All right, we'll do June 12th, and then he will need to, well, counsel, you need to file that motion.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, and then I see he has another violation. That's a CM. What is going to happen with that case, defense? I'm sorry, state.
One of them has been recently rejected, Your Honor.
Okay.
So there should only be one pending.
All right, I have 107792. Has that been rejected?
Yes, that one's been closed, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Ferguson. We'll give you a reset form, then you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
Abdallah Insee.
Oh, yes.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. How's it going?
Great. Mary Peterzak for the defense. Here with Mr. Insee. Ince.
All right. Where are we on the PTD?
Yes, Your Honor. So I've conferred with the prosecutor on this case. It looks like the contract was submitted and he was accepted on March 22nd. And he's been in contact with pretrial services, trying to get that orientation taken care of. And that's where we're at. We're working on getting the orientation done.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a PTG date on Ince.
May 22nd. I'm sorry, May 25th. May 25th.
All right, we'll come back on May 25th. Just get a reset form for Ms. Ferguson and you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a
All
great
right,
day.
thank you. Dean Villarreal. And then Ms. Gonzalez, after this, I'll take up your matter. All right, where's the attorney for Villarreal? Who's your attorney?
Stella Hood.
All right, so I'll just have you wait. Ms. Gonzalez? You have an off-docket matter?
Yes, Judge. We were here just a few weeks ago before the Honorable Judge Angelini and had an agreement for tracking only. We're asking for fees to be waived and for our client to be able to, he has a job that he's about to lose. We're just asking for him to be able to be switched over to tracking only for purposes of employment.
All right, is he indicted?
It's an MTR, Judge. Yes.
All right, so I need the file.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Judge Angelini ordered full house arrest. Yes.
All right, and what are we doing with the motion to revoke?
He has a setting, I believe.
For May 18th, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, do you have Mr. Igor Olinsky for, what date did you say?
May 18th.
May 18th? It's 2022 CR 0266.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, probation. Mr. Igor Olinsky, 2022 CR 0266. Do you have any objections to tracking for him to allow him to have employment? Why can't it be partial for work?
I mean, I suppose it could, Judge. We just were trying to allow him to have a schedule so that he could go do what he needed to do for employment.
All right. I'm leaning towards partial for work. I don't take the allegations with the motion within the motion as true because I haven't heard anything. But I do see where there have been issues with the GPS. So that's my concern with just doing tracking because allegedly there was a no charging of the device and other issues.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, so I'll waive the fees, but they're not going to waive them because it's a third party contract, but I'll ask that they be waived, but they're not going to get waived. I'll ask for that they be waived or deferred until employed. And I'll do partial for employment. I'll do partial GPS for employment only.
And Your Honor, so they would also ask that the complaining witness's address be listed as a protected address on the GPS.
All right, no contact with complainant. No contact with complainant, complainants. Work or home address.
Your Honor.
Yes.
May I ask, is this a condition of bond or a condition of probation?
It's condition of bond.
Bond.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. See you back on May 18th, and Ms. Ferguson, they'll make a copy for this for you in the back. Is the attorney here on Dean Villarreal? Everyone, the court is breaking exactly at 12. So if you're not done, you're going to have to come back on another day. Yes.
We have an agreement that my client will pay restitution.
All right, who's your client?
Quentin Cole.
All right, could I see the file on Quentin Cole? Yes.
And then this case will be dismissed.
Okay.
And so we're just gonna ask for a 30-day reset.
All right, Mr. Cole, can you come forward? Okay. Let me just. This one's done.
KLB.
And that one's done. And she'll need a copy. Adriana, she'll need a copy of the motion. All right. And on Cobb, yes.
So
paying the restitution and then they'll dismiss.
Okay.
All right. And how much is the restitution?
It's a total of $2,700.
How long is it going to take you to pay that?
As soon as I get the information, the details of, I was told it was 2 separate money orders and various. I'm gonna have my family member send it to Phyllis, and then will be paid off.
But 3 weeks?
Yes, probably within a week, but I mean.
But give us like 3 weeks just to be sure.
Oh, okay, yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Cobb, can I have a 3-week reset?
Yes, May 15th.
All right, after you receive your reset form, you excuse.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
seeing you.
Good seeing you, Judge.
Leah Thompson.
It's very good.
All right, what's happening with this case?
Judge, it's a first setting. I'm asking court for a reset.
All right, have you conferred with the state?
Yes, they made an offer on it.
All right, do you have all the discovery?
I think I do, yes.
All right, Norma, on Leah Thompson, I need a 3-week reset for a plea deadline date.
May 15th.
All right, you're going to come back on May 15th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. If you decide not to accept the state's offer, then your plea deadline date will have expired and the court will not consider any pleas without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. They'll give you a reset after you sign the reset form. Alejo Aguirre. All right, today is your plea deadline date.
He's walking up there.
All right. All right, Mr. Aguirre, today is your plea deadline date. Are you accepting the plea, rejecting it?
We're rejecting it.
All right, state, how long is this trial going to last?
2 to 3 days, Judge.
All right, Norma, I need a jury trial date on Alejo Aguirre. It's criminal trial division. 2 days.
Have them come back on May 2nd, Judge.
All right, your jury trial date is May 2nd. Court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. Do you understand? All right, you can sign the reset form. We'll see you back here on May 2nd for your jury trial.
Thank you.
You're welcome. These are done. Juan Tehran.
My client wants to ask for a reason. I didn't bring his witnesses here. I was supposed to pick them up and grab them here.
All right.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello. Good morning. So is your client rejecting the plea?
He is, Your Honor.
All right, state, how long do you expect this jury trial?
Should be about a 3-4 day trial.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Juan Tehran, it's family violence, need a jury trial date, 3 days.
May 23rd.
All right, your jury trial date is May 23rd. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back on May 23rd. Just get the reset form, then you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Herbert King. Yes.
So Mr. King was said yesterday,
Yes.
and I had asked Mr. Statesman if he could get a week reset because I needed to contact the witnesses that he had. I have police report only and one witness, but there are 3 more that could not make it today on such short notice.
All right.
So if I could just have till next week. May 2nd, if possible.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we bring this back on May 1st?
Okay, May 1st.
All right, so this is the last reset for this case.
I am set for trial in the 399 that day. I don't know if Judge Castro is going to let me go, but.
Oh, no, let him know you need to come up here first. You're here at 9. We'll take it up at 9.
Gotcha.
All right, we're going to see you on May 1st. That's the last reset the court will give. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. Arturo Contreras Santos.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, so is your client accepting the state's offer or not?
No, Your Honor.
All right, your plea deadline date has expired. How long do you all expect this jury trial to last?
The state's case on chief will take about 4 days, Your Honor.
How many videos in this case?
A lot, maybe 5-6 days then. It's a
No.
lot of videos.
Now, are we playing the entire videos? Is it 13 hours? That's our standard here.
I will have to look. I'm not completely sure how long the videos are. I'll have to look again, but there's pictures and videos.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, 3 days for a jury trial on Mr. Contreras Santos. It's not really, well, you can say it's sort of family violence, but not really. Well, I say that because you're not our family violence attorney, so we can put you on either date.
Your Honor, if possible, the state is asking if we could possibly do the week of the 22nd.
We'll see what's available.
May 22nd.
Oh, no, I mean, you guys, you can make suggestions, but
Oh.
yeah.
For an early birthday present.
Yeah. No, we don't give birthday presents around here. Ms. Ferguson, what date? All right, your jury trial.
Oh,
Your jury trial is May 22nd, and I'm writing on the docket sheet that this is the date you both agreed on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Contreras. Your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. Do you understand? The other thing, you're in custody. They're going to bring you over dressed in whatever civilian clothing you have at the jail. As you would, if you wish to come over attired differently, then you have to make a clothing exchange with your attorney. Counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, just let the court know.
No problem, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Yeah, these are done. Is the attorney here on Dean Villarreal?
How many are ahead of us?
Yes, I need Steve Terrassa to call. I don't know if I have today's his. So then the next one will be the Terrassa. And I also need Jordan Robbins pull, but I need to talk to Brittany about it first, so I should wait and pull it, right? Yes, if I can. Thank you.
Fernando or Julio?
Judge, may I approach?
Just a moment.
That's why.
Justin Barella. Where's the attorney for Justin Barella? The attorney for Justin Barella, where are you? Who's your attorney?
Michael.
Mr. White.
Mr. White, Mike White.
Michael White. Thank you. Are you his attorney? Are you his attorney?
Yes, yes, I'm sorry.
Yes, come forward. Court is calling 2023 CR 1647, State of Texas versus Justin Joseph Varela. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense? Have you, counsel, have you received all the discovery and reviewed it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Varela, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Varela, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of felon in possession of a firearm? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into an agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Barella, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $500 fine. There is no application for deferred adjudication, and the state recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a top evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand that was recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense that's charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
State offer states exhibit 1 in all attachments.
Any objections?
No objection. Your
All
Honor.
right, state, you may continue to confer. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your
Did you
Honor.
sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing? Are we proceeding with sentencing today, counsel? Are we proceeding with his sentencing today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, except that I think that he could be trusted to be on probation, that he's very reliable and he's showed up for everything.
All right. Do you have employment?
I'm actually in the process of currently getting my LLC to start my business.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm currently getting my LLC to start my business.
So you're unemployed?
Yes.
How do you support yourself?
I was currently employed, I work in restaurants. So I'm just currently looking for a job right now.
Do you have children?
Yes,
How many?
2,
What are their ages?
13 and 7.
Do they live with you?
No, not at the moment. I have full custody of my oldest son.
Who is but you have full custody of the 13-year-old?
Yes. Well, he's staying with his mother right now.
All right. So here's the thing. I don't understand why somebody who has 2 children would quit their job and decide to follow their dream of working, and you have 2 children to support financially. So why would you do that?
It was just, I didn't mean to quit my job at the moment. It wasn't working out at that time.
Well, how are you supporting yourself? How do you eat every day?
I have a good support system.
So basically you're an adult male. How old are you?
I'm 33, but I'm not trying to rely on nobody.
Well, you are relying on somebody because somebody else is feeding you. You're not feeding yourself. Right? So who is feeding you?
Well, my girlfriend.
And does she have children?
Yes.
And what are their ages?
They're out of the house already.
Yeah, how old are they? You should know this. This is your girlfriend, right? Are you guys living together?
It's 28, 24, 22, and 21.
And how old is she?
She's 45.
All right, if you're on probation out of the 187, you're getting a job.
Yes, ma'am.
And this whole thing about you want to follow your dreams and do a specific type of work, sure, you can do that, but you need to have a job before you quit a job.
Yes, ma'am.
Especially when you have 2 children to support, which obviously you're not supporting. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
It would be positive for marijuana.
So how are you going to get your license and do your business? I have members of my family who are truck drivers, and you can't be smoking marijuana and drive trucks.
Oh, I'm doing whatever it takes to stop everything. I'm trying to turn a new leaf for myself. I would use marijuana just to calm myself down with my ADHD because I don't like using the prescription that it would give me.
Everybody has ADHD today. So when's the last time you used?
I want to say about a week ago.
Is it going to be positive for anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 3 years. There's a $500 fine that'll be probated. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And what's your girlfriend's name?
Veronica.
Veronica what?
Martinez.
All right, and she can't act as a supervisor. So his girlfriend cannot supervise his visitation because I don't know why a girlfriend would allow you to quit a job and still support you. I don't understand that. Everybody is an adult. We need to be able to support ourselves.
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you known her?
For 5 years.
Mm-hmm. All right, you're going to have proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular UAs I'm gonna want him tested for levels. And if he's positive for anything other than marijuana, I want a TAP evaluation, and we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment, 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm gonna order parenting classes. Once the parenting classes are complete, that'll complete your restitution. I'm gonna want field visits at least one time per month until further notice. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. You're gonna have to do better. When you have children, your life is not your own, because every decision you make, you need to be asking yourself, is this something that's gonna benefit my children? And now you gotta add to that, every decision you make, is this something that could potentially result in me going to prison for 3 years? You understand? All right, good luck to you. Thanks for dressing appropriately for court. Your girlfriend is dressing you well. All right, Robert Shanahan. Robert Shanahan. Is the attorney for Robert Shanahan here? Xavier Escobedo. Xavier Escobedo. Where's Mr. Escobedo?
Your Honor, he was not aware of today's setting. He did not, so he did not appear yesterday. I thought he showed up and then it got recalled. So I didn't verify last night for him to show up today.
Well, I mean, I have in this file a reset form
I understand.
for April 24th that he signed off on.
I understand.
All right. Could I have a prosecutor? Court is calling 2023 CR 0940 State of Texas versus Xavier Escobedo. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Lindsay Shaw for the state.
Defense?
I'm sorry.
All right. All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:51 a.m. The defendant has not made an appearance. This case was originally scheduled for April 24th, 2023. On that date, the defendant did not appear. The defendant did sign the reset form acknowledging that his date was for April 24th. The court had the case recalled for today because the defendant did not appear and the defense attorney did not appear. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement for Mr. Escobedo?
Yes, Your Honor, and he is not in the hallway.
Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I do have contact with my client. He is not able to get here by noon. We'd ask this case be recalled to Monday because I understand there's not court the rest of the week.
All right, state.
At this time, Judge, the state would request a bond forfeiture.
All right, that will be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Who's here on Steve Terrazas?
Here, Judge.
Hello.
Hello, Judge. How are you?
All right. You're on your health journey, which is making me feel bad because I see a cake and I'm like, oh, that would be so delicious.
Well, I still eat a bite every now and again.
All right, Mr. Terrazas, today is your plea deadline date.
Yes, Your Honor, and I spoke with Sergio before this at length, and I reviewed the offer, and we are rejecting the offer and would need a trial setting, Judge.
All right, state, how long do you expect this jury trial?
3 or 4 days.
No videos.
I can't recall off the top of my head, but nothing 13 hours.
All right, that's ours.
I would probably say a week.
A full week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna say 3 days. I don't know anything about the case, but I'm like, maybe 3 days. All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date on Terrazas.
And Judge, just Sergio's expecting a trial June 3rd. So is there any way it could be at like 2 or 3 weeks after that? Or is that, I don't know what the court's calendar is.
Oh, she'll be able to tell. June 20th.
That'll work.
All right, is he gonna actively participate?
Oh, you know it will.
Is he gonna pass out at the delivery?
Oh, no, he'll probably just cry.
All right, and you said June 20th? No, I read on,
Yeah.
I read online, they have these things online where they say, am I a bad person? And then they say, what happened? So this guy says his wife was in the delivery room and they had agreed prior that she wouldn't take an epidural. So she had been in labor for 24 hours and she decided to take it, and she decided to take the postpartum thing afterwards.
Yeah.
And that made their bill like over $8,000. And he told her, you need to take that out of your personal savings because we didn't agree to that. So he's like, am I the bad guy? And everybody's like, yeah, dude, you're the bad guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So we shall see. All right, just get the reset form. Mr. Terrazas, your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have the plea open to the court. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you the reset form. Fernando Sanchez.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanchez, thanks for dressing appropriately for court. Where are we on this case?
Judge, so I was looking on our system and it appears that there's an engagement in criminal activity charge that we just handed out to an intake attorney. I just emailed the intake attorney to see what was gonna happen, just because that might dictate what happens on our case.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Fernando Sanchez, can I have a 30-day reset? Are you able to understand what's going on, Mr. Sanchez? Well, what don't you understand?
Spanish.
Oh, does he need an interpreter?
No, he does not, Judge.
He's saying he needs one.
Fernando, you need an interpreter? Okay, but that's the first time I've heard of it, but if we need one for clarification, then I'll definitely make sure we make arrangements.
All right, and is he a citizen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Ferguson?
Okay, 22nd.
All right, May 22nd. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. And Norma, next time, let's make sure there's an interpreter here for him.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Hopefully we get a response from intake if it's something there's gonna be a stage show. I'll let you know, we probably just post that.
Hey.
I would assume it's like that. I'm sorry. I would assume it's that.
Monica Dorado? Yes. Okay. Okay, all right, thank you. I'll take that out. Xavier Doxy.
Ready, Judge.
Court is calling 2019 CR 9540 State of Texas versus Xavier Doxy. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Lindsay Shaw for the state.
Defense?
Kyle Lynch for Mr. Doxy.
Are you Mr. Doxy?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Xavier Dante Doxy who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 9540 for the offense of arson of a habitation or place of assembly on December 13, 2019 for a term of 6 years?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 5, Judge. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Xavier Dante Doxy did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of October, November, and December 2022 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
The second violated condition number 5. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Xavier Doxy did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of January 2023 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
We'll waive all the remaining violations, Judge.
Any objections?
No objections.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 5 and 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to 5 and 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find 5 and 5 true. Is there an agreement?
No, Judge, there is not.
State, what are you requesting?
We're requesting, Judge, based on the results of the TAP that he completed in jail, they're recommending SATIF. So the state is requesting that he do SATIF. He was given he did complete ISF, and upon his release from ISF in March, leads to his failure to reporting, which he pled true to for October, November, December, and January of 2023. So the state's fear is that if he is granted something such as outpatient treatment and he's released from custody, the same thing is going to happen, and he's going to continue to fail to report and do what he's supposed to do on probation. So we're asking for SATIF.
And so, Judge, after the TAP evaluation, there was 2 recommendations, obviously, is what the state has said is SATIF, and also possibly inpatient therapy if the court were to consider it. The biggest difference now with Mr. Doxy is he has more of a stable living environment. He's going to be able to stay with his mom, which is at 5100 Eisenhower Road in San Antonio, Texas, 78218. Beforehand, after he was released from the facility, he was on the street. And he was using it, and he does recognize that there are some addiction issues. And I spoke to probation. They said it's about a 4 to 8 week wait for SATIF. So we'd ask the court to consider an intensive outpatient. He does have more of a stable living environment, that he stays at that address that I provided to the court, and give him his last opportunity and hold SATIF and hold it in advance.
All right, so the court began with outpatient treatment for your client. And so I'm going to follow the recommendations of probation. So I'll deny the motion to alter main conditions to include SATIF. You can do a referral to felony drug court, see if they will accept him. If they accept him, then we'll transfer it to felony drug court. Otherwise, he's going to SATIF, and he's to remain in custody until transfer either to SATIF or felony drug court. Is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Maybe it's you, Judge.
Yes. Monica Gallardo. Yes. Release what? Yeah, I've already signed it and turned it in. So if it came to me, it's been signed. Let me see. Was it just filed today?
Yes.
I don't have that motion.
Thanks, Judge.
Sure.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Ah. Oh. You're welcome. All right, who's her attorney?
Your Honor, she doesn't have, this is a compliance hearing.
All right, so Ms. Gallardo, you're gonna have to start doing better. Otherwise, you're looking at going to prison, okay? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you're gonna have to start. One, you're gonna have to provide your bills to office visits. You understand?
Yes.
This is your last chance to provide them with what your bills are so that they can come up with a payment plan for you. If you don't do that, if you miss a reporting date with them, next time I get this, we're not going to have a compliance hearing. It's just going to be a motion to revoke if everything is in order. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And let me see, you need to start reporting because they're saying you didn't report in September, December, or January. I'm not going to have any more issues with that.
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
then they said they made contact at your residence on January and not with you because nobody was there. So now they're saying that you're staying in a motel with your 8 children.
Yes,
Do
Your
you
Honor.
have any residents to stay with your children?
Do I have? No, Your Honor, I'm currently waiting on my taxes. I lost the home in January. I did call my probation officer and say that I was still going and getting the mail and things. I had plumbing issues. And it was like slumlords, they weren't fixing it. So I had no choice other than to get water, boil it and do all of that. It was just too much. So I moved me and my older daughter, moved my kids into a room until I could receive that money and get stable again. I signed up for the homeless hotline. They said that they would help me if it came before then in a 30-day period. That's all I'm waiting on, Your Honor. I just had the health issues. That's not a reason for any of this, but I'm on track to get better. I'm doing everything that I can. And I will do everything that you asked, Your Honor.
All right, and you keep missing your UAs and then they have you using marijuana. If you have medical issues, I don't think they're telling you that you need to be using marijuana.
No, Your Honor. No.
And if you're in a hotel room with your children, that's a confined space. They don't need to see their mom doing marijuana. I know that she's doing marijuana. And what I will tell you this, people think their children don't know when they're using marijuana. They do. And other children tease them. Because guess what? Their clothes smell like marijuana. So either you're going to be a good mom to these 8 children or you're not. If you're not going to be a good mom to them, then maybe you need to let the government raise them. And I always tell people the government is not a good person to raise your children. You understand?
I agree. If you give me this opportunity to make these things right, my UAs was because I couldn't financially do it. I know that.
Well, I mean, you can financially get marijuana.
Your Honor, truthfully, I wasn't the one smoking the marijuana. That was my ride back and forth at the time to get my kids to school.
No.
It's not a reason, but I mean, I understand, but I did not.
Why are you riding with your children in a car with somebody who's getting marijuana?
It wasn't that they were smoking, the car smells like it.
Yeah, so you're putting your children in a marijuana car. Then if you're testing positive for marijuana because of
Then
riding
they are
around in a
too, Your
vehicle,
Honor.
yeah, they are. So that makes you a bad mother.
I didn't realize it till the day that it came up and there was like traces. I didn't know I'm not a user.
Yeah, no.
But I understand everything you're saying, Your Honor.
I don't believe this story about you riding in the vehicle unless they're hotboxing in the vehicle. So here's the thing.
Yes, Your Honor.
People come before me and they cry, but I will tell you the thing about being on probation. It's either you did it or you didn't do it.
Yes.
Tears don't weigh that yes, you did it or no, you didn't. That's
Sure.
just emotions.
Right. And it's my fault and it's on me. And I promise to change. You won't see me here again, Your Honor.
I mean, if I do see you here again, it's going to be in the form of a motion to revoke.
I understand. Just give me this opportunity.
And you're on probation for a first-degree felony.
I understand, Your Honor. I'm aware of all these things.
And I can't tell people not to have any more children. That's not in my purview. But
I will not.
8 children and they're living in a hotel, that's not good. Probation,
Yes, Your Honor.
what does she need?
I'll reach out to her officer to see what resources we can provide, Your Honor.
All right, we're not coming back here again for you not doing what you're supposed to do. It's simple for you to give your bills to probation. It's simple for you not to use marijuana. And do not come back in here with this story about you riding around in a vehicle. And the only way you should be testing positive if you all are hotboxing in the vehicle. And if you're hotboxing in the vehicle, that means you're hotboxing with your children in the vehicle. All right. And what motel are you staying at?
At the extended stay SA off of I-35, 9735 I-35. They have kitchenettes and they have a refrigerator.
I'm going to want probation to visit that location to see how the children are doing. And it needs to be random.
Yes.
All right. And if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Probation, are you able to get a UA today?
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, if I won't be able to test for levels.
Oh, that's
but
okay.
If you just want a UA.
Yes. And let's see where we are. All right. So if you don't provide that information, I am not having another compliance hearing. It's just going to be a motion to revoke. You understand?
Yes,
Probation?
I believe you're still calling the IVR
Yes,
hotline every day.
I'm
You're
not
still
sending
looking
you
at that
Yes.
recently?
And if she missed reporting, file a motion to revoke.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Yeah. Oh, no, they were not here when I first called it. Villarreal. Who's the attorney for Villarreal?
Jason Goss, Mr. Villarreal.
Do you have the CPS records?
Oh, Your Honor. There's a return on the subpoena, I think, for May
14th, Your
May
Honor.
14th.
Mr. Villarreal, come forward. Norma, can you recall this after May 14th? All right, we're coming back on May 18th. That's the last discovery time you all will have. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Robert Shanahan,
Yes.
where's your attorney?
He was here, but he's gonna be back in.
All right, Jordan Robbins.
Present, Your Honor.
All right, on this one, the last time we were here, something with electronic devices, child therapy notes, school records, council notes, the filling journals, the daycare records, the video saying exam, disc, and officer's notebook, CPS records defendant has, mother's medical record. So where are we on discovery?
We are, well, the state requests another 30 days. We have not gotten the school records yet. We have confirmed daycare records don't exist. We think there may, we're following up on the same video. We've reached out to Chris's hospital about that. We haven't confirmed if they have a copy yet or not, but they're looking for it. The therapist notes, we already have the majority of those up until December. But there's several items on here that I would just request a little bit more time.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if I can have a 30-day reset for discovery on Robbins.
May 25th.
All right, we'll come back on May 25th. That's your last date for discovery.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, then you're excused. Daniel Flores. All right, today is the plea deadline date. So are you accepting the plea or no?
No, Judge.
All right, how long do you all expect this jury trial to last?
Oh, probably 4 days.
Any videos?
Yes, but nothing
13.
voluminous.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, for family violence, I need a jury trial date, 3 to 4 days. I see you're ready for fiesta.
I am, Judge. We can do June 20th.
All right, 20th. All right, your jury trial date is June 20th. Your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset, then you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Michael Kilgore. Hello, good morning. So,
my client was not brought out.
No, that's, I understand.
But we were here for discovery compliance.
Yes. So there was a password for a phone or something?
So Judge, We did get the cell phones. We spoke with the officer who had taken them. He said that he marked them as personal property. They weren't marked as evidence.
Okay.
So at that point, he released them to us. We released it to defense and had them sign an evidence receipt. I was also informed that there may have been a detective who may have already done an extraction. And so I'm following up with that detective to see if he ever did one.
All right, Ms. Fergus, could I have a 30-day reset on Kilgore? And did you make an offer to them?
Not yet, Judge.
All right, so your offer is due on May 22nd.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, we'll come back on May 22nd.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. There you go. Victor Mendoza.
Present ready, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Mendoza, if you come forward. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 9447, State of Texas versus Victor Manuel Mendoza. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Lindsay Shaw for the state.
Nathan Slemay for Mr. Mendoza.
Are you Mr. Mendoza?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Victor Manuel Mendoza who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 9447 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on December 13th, 2022 for a period of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 1, on or about the 20th day of January 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Victor Manuel Mendoza committed the offense of evade arrest or detention in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
We'll waive all the remaining violations, Judge.
Did you, any objections to the waivers?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is that the court deny the MTR to be continued on probation and we alter them in conditions for state ISF cognitive track.
All right, is that your agreement?
It is, Your Honor. I guess with the further understanding that the state will be dismissing the evading misdemeanor. I don't have the case number in front of me.
That's correct.
In exchange for his plea of true.
All right, probation. All right, is probation in agreement with this?
That was probation's recommendations, Judge.
All right, the court will deny the motion to alter the main conditions to include state ISF cognitive. Defendant will remain in custody until transfer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. We can go off the record. Mr. Mendoza, Mr.
Sorry.
Mendoza.
Sorry.
I don't know what your issues are, but this is something that you need to be thinking about. Every decision you make, you need to ask yourself whether or not this could result in you going to prison for 20 years. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, probation on Victor Mendoza. He pled true to violation of condition number 1, and the court followed probation's recommendation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Julio Sanchez.
You can pass that for a minute.
Jordan Robbins. I think that was done. That's been done. Mhm. Vanessa Varela. All right, counsel, what's happening with these cases?
Judge, Ms. Barella is awaiting an evaluation based on a suggestion of incompetency.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a phantom date for Vanessa Varela for competency.
Sure.
All right, June 8th.
Yes, Judge.
All right, and if it's completed before then, just let us know and we'll bring her over before then. Ms. Varela, on the system, it's going to show that you don't have a date. The reason why we're doing that is because you have a scheduled competency. And if we put an actual date in there, then they won't come see you because they'll see you have court, okay?
Okay.
But just know that you'll be coming back on June 8th. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you give them a reset form just so she'll have one? All right, is there anything else?
Not on her. I did want to approach on another matter, Judge, real quick.
All right, just give me 1 second.
Sure. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You two have a good one.
You too. All right.
What matter?
Okay, so Judge, last week, maybe the week before, when Judge Angelini was sitting, we had a PSI on an Adon Silva, and he didn't exactly do what Mr. Silva was hoping that he would do. So I was hoping to revisit that with you. I filed a motion for new trial, but it's not a true motion for new trial. It's really just a motion for rehearing the sentence.
You mean a motion to reconsider?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll look at it. What was ordered?
I'm sorry?
What was ordered?
So it was an agreement for 2 years deferred adjudication. Well, the recommendation is 2 years deferred adjudication, right? Did follow the plea bargain, but it was kind of a heavy-handed following of the plea.
Well, I mean, if he completes everything, the court will always consider early termination,
Well,
but we'll keep it at the 5 because that's what he ordered.
well, would you? I'd kind of like to talk to you a little bit more about it.
I mean, I'll consider early term, but I mean, Angelini gave him 5 years deferred, or so it'll remain as 5 years deferred.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Sure. Robert Shanahan,
I'm talking back there.
where's your attorney?
She still hasn't come back yet. She said she was gonna come back.
All right, if she's not back here by 12, you're just gonna be recalled for next week. So you may want to call her. All right, on Corwin Campbell, have you all had a chance to review the defense's motions? Are we here for motions?
Oh, we're here, Your Honor. Last time we were here, it was resolving some discovery issues.
Yes.
I believe those are going to get resolved. I'll be provided the information today. I filed these last week, and if they can be presented today, and I have my client good.
Okay. All right, the defendant was excused from being here today, but okay,
Well, but in light of the motions, I thought you might want it.
okay. So the discovery, that's taken care of?
Yes, I expect to get the information very soon.
All right, so,
I'm for the defendant.
and are you Mr. Campbell?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, just 1 moment. Okay. All right. All right, so the first issue is, let me see. The issue of a polygraph person. So you're asking that the court provide funding for your client to have a polygraph?
Well, he already passed a polygraph, and that information was given to the state last year. Mr. Campbell has offered to conduct another polygraph if the state wants to do that. And if I need to have Mr. Priest, who's the preeminent polygraph examiner in Texas, testify in regards to the polygraph, I'd like the ability to pay it because Mr. Campbell can no longer pay for his time.
All right, and is polygraph, the results of polygraph admissible at trial?
No, Your Honor.
So I don't understand why the court should pay for this. And you state that,
I believe.
and when I
it's
say the
unfair.
court, and when we say the court, I mean taxpayers, if it's not admissible.
Some
So-
jurisdictions have allowed it under certain circumstances, and I would hope as the evidence develops in this case, which I provided the state, would show that the police and have the wrong person, and this prosecution should not be against this person, but it's estranged father.
All right, so that request for funding will be denied based on the fact that, one, a polygraph has already been done, which you told me. If at some point a polygraph becomes relevant, which the court doesn't see how it would be relevant at this stage, then the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Ron.
Right. And then, Mr. Corwin, I have a few questions for you related to your finances. Can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. Are you currently employed?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And how much are you making?
$13.50. I was currently making $22 at VIA, but can't have anything on your record at VIA, so I lost my job. I made good financial decisions while I was at VIA. I had over 11,000 saved. Had over a high limit credit cards, but I've maxed all of them out. I'm looking for a second job currently.
All right, any questions with regards to financing from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So your next request is
Mr.
for,
Brown.
yes.
Yeah, he is a forensic analysis. He does analysis on computers and cell phones, and we provided him with Mr. Campbell's phone last year. He did a very extensive investigation. You recall, this is because T-Mobile no longer had the cell site. They couldn't provide that, so we provided the next best thing, which was analysis of the cell phone. We provided the state with a very in-depth analysis that shows that his cell phone does not reflect he was anywhere in the area of the shooting, and there was nothing in the cell phone that would indicate that he was involved in the shooting. However, in order for Mr. Brodenhauser to testify, he needs additional funds that Mr. Campbell cannot pay. He already paid Mr. Brodenhauser, I believe it was $1,250 to do the analysis on this phone.
All right, you're asking for $1,000?
Possibly, yes. I don't think it's going to go more over that.
All right,
That's fine.
that will be granted. Timothy Dimoff.
Yeah, that's an expert that I've been looking for some time now. He's, I got his name from an association in New Jersey. He's a law enforcement officer for 30 years. He's testified all over the country. And I want him to testify in regards to the police use of the data systems that they're using in regards to even identifying Mr. Campbell. The police use what's called a CAD system. SAPD used that CAD system to run a license plate. And that license plate, according to the detective, was associated to Corwin Campbell Jr. And then he ran the clear research, which identified.
All right, that'll be granted. The next thing is your investigator.
Yeah, he's already been working on the case, Your Honor, for some time now, and he's paid. I think how much did he pay this month?
About $3,000.
And he has no more funds, and all I need Mr. Rodriguez to do is line up certain witnesses. It would not take very much time and possibly testify.
How much are you asking for?
No more than $1,000.
Right. I'll set it for $1,000. All right, your jury trial is scheduled for May 16th. We can go off the record. State, the defense keeps saying that this wasn't the person, that there's been a mistake and it was actually his father. So if everybody could check into that before we actually have a jury trial, if it's not necessary, then.
Of course, Judge.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
I don't know if you noticed. He's much smaller than he used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Lost about 50 pounds.
I lost 30 pounds, just being depressed, not eating. I mean, I don't want nobody to feel sad, I was just making that.
Okay, all right, thank you. Robert Shanahan.
Yeah, I'm trying to call, answering, I called the.
All right, the court is recessing at 12. Julio Sanchez. Oh, and counsel on Corbin, do you need another reset form? Mr. Latimer, do you need another reset form for that May date or no?
I will let you know. I don't want to, but I will let you know.
No, I mean, do you need another reset form? Not I'm resetting
Oh, for
it.
May 6th. Oh,
Yes.
no, we've already signed it.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, court is calling 2019 CR 4665, State of Texas versus Julio Cesar Sanchez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Austin Hagy for the defense.
And are you Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yeah, we're gonna be asking for 10 days. I just got hired as my first, so I don't. We're just asking for 10 days to kind of unravel this a little bit. We can come back whenever the court has a good date. I've been conferring with the state. We're not quite ready to proceed at this time.
All right, how long will it take for a contested hearing?
Not long, Judge. I think it's only one or two witnesses.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, set this in 10 days for a contested hearing. There will be no further resets in this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, I can do, the May. Or May 8th.
All right, we'll be back on May 4th. That's your contested hearing date. All
Your
right,
Honor, could we do May 8th? Is that okay?
yeah, see you back on May 4th.
Okay, thank you.
All
Your
right,
Honor.
thank you. Celine Breard. Morning, where's your client?
Since she was here this morning, I met her. I just checked the hallway to see if she was still there.
The ladies room, Judge.
Oh, she's at the ladies' room.
Anyway, Judge, I was just appointed on that. So, where's,
Okay.
He's here.
there she is.
All right, Ms. Breard, if you come forward. All right, what's happening in this case?
But apparently I was just appointed, so we'd ask the court to reset it so I can get my schedule and everything. The state's file was not down here. They did call to bring it down.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset?
Yeah, I can make 30 minutes.
All right, we'll come back on May 30th.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Norma, I don't see Breard on the docket.
It's on the docket, guys, because the docket sheet.
Okay. All right, is Robert Garcia here? Robert Garcia. All right, can I see the file on Robert Garcia, please? Just a second. After Robert Garcia, it's going to be Robert Shanahan. All right, could I have somebody on Robert Garcia, please? Prosecutor. Court is calling 2023 CR 2223 and 2023 CR 2224, State of Texas versus Robert Garcia. This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is 11:35 a.m. The defendant has not appeared, nor has the defense attorney appeared. In just one moment. Deputy Lauren, did you announce Mr. Robert Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
All right, state.
Your Honor, state would request a bond forfeiture.
All right, that'll be granted. Mr. Garcia will be remanded without bond. If he makes an appearance, the court will reconsider. Thank you. All right, could I see the parties on Robert Shanahan?
This is just a reset request, Your Honor, I understand.
Just one moment. All right, what is happening with Mr. Shanahan?
It's a reset request, Your Honor. My understanding is the state needs to gather some additional evidence. Summary.
All right, state on Shanahan. I'm going to reset this for 30 days. At that time, you need to be prepared to make an offer.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Shanahan, please?
May 30th.
All right, we'll come back on May 30th,
Thank you, Your Honor. May you please?
after you sign the reset form. Hi, do you have a file? Oh, thank you so much. This is gorgeous. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Let me give you one of mine. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. Oh my, see, you know what? I tell people all the time that the spinners are great.
Yeah, and you can, if you stand up really fast, it's so heavy, you'll probably fall over.
Okay.
It'll be top heavy.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're welcome. Anthony Delgado. Is the attorney here for Anthony Delgado?
Your Honor, it's the.
All right, so felony drug court was trying to reach you and they couldn't.
Oh, yes.
Why not? Do you want to go to prison?
No, I don't. I know, I think my phone was off at that time.
Your phone was off on March 6th, March 7th, March 9th, and March 14th.
Oh, yeah, no. I was supposed to make the call and I never did.
Why not?
I was moving from one house that I was at to another address.
All right, well, you're going to SATA because it's either you referred to felony drug court. So if felony drug court didn't accept you, which they're not because you didn't show up, then you're going to SATA.
Okay.
So that's where you're headed.
Okay.
So sign the conditions. They're going to take you in today. And if you want to try him with felony drug court again, you can, but it'll be done while he's in custody.
We did recall from yesterday. I'm talking to her. She's running back and forth.
All right, can I see the file on Alfredo Garza? That's not. No. All right, can I see a prosecutor for Alfredo Garza? Court is calling 2023 CR 2278, State of Texas versus Alfredo Garza. Can I have state announced for the record, please?
Lindsay Shaw for the state.
All right, and deputy.
I can announce for him, Your Honor, and he did not answer.
All right, hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:41 a.m. The defendant has not appeared, neither has his attorney appeared. State.
Judge, at this time, we're asking that his bond be forfeited.
All right, that'll be granted. He'll be remanded without bond. If he makes an appearance, the court will reconsider. Thank you. Alfredo Garza. All right, can I see the file on Juan Cuellar?
I'm present on that, Judge.
All right, and where's
That was
Mr.
my
Cuellar?
approach. He's in the box, Judge.
Okay, they show him as being on bond.
And that's one of the things I was going to approach the court on.
Okay.
But he does have two cases, Judge.
All right, Mr. Cuellar. Juan Cuellar, come down, please. All right, counsel, what's happening with these cases?
Good morning, Judge. For the record, again, my name is Raymond Vale. I have been recently retained to represent Mr. Cuellar on both of his cases. He has a DWI third and an ag assault with a deadly weapon, Your Honor. He is on bond on the DWI, but he's not on bond on the ag assault. On that case, I filed a motion to have the court consider reducing his bond. I've conferred with the state. We're not able to reach an agreement, so we need to have that set for a hearing whenever the court has some time to take that matter up.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need you to refer 2023 CR 1200 to Miguel Nahara for a bond reduction hearing.
Yes, ma'am. Now sorry.
Yes, and then Ms. Ferguson, if I can have a reset date for this for 30 days.
Yes, ma'am. I was going to suggest that on both cases, we need probably a 30-day reset. I need to finish pulling discovery on the DWI. And I've gotten most of the records, but I need to review the videos. On the ag assault, the state needs to reach out to the victim. I need to subpoena records from the pretrial services and pull some other discovery. So that would be good if we could have at least 30 days before.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, you said May 30th? All right, May 30th.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Good to see you, Your Honor.
These two are done. You too, have a good one.
You too.
Roderick Jones. Can I see the file on Roderick Jones, please? Yes, those are done. Yes. No, just get the plea paperwork done. Get the plea paperwork done and I'll take it up. All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Jones, your attorney's not here.
I seen her come in and walk out. She said she was in another court or something.
We're gonna recall you back for Monday and you cannot wear crop tops to court, you understand?
Okay.
This is not the gym. All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Monday at what time?
it's gonna be at 9. Ms. Ferguson, on Roderick Jones, recall this back for May 1st. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Ferguson will give you the reset form.
No.
All right, where is Cheryl Patterson? Yes. What's happening with Destiny Argumendo?
Well, it's actually Amanda Argumendo.
Okay, what's happening?
What we wanted to ask, oh, I was talking with the prosecutor. We are seeing about having me appointed to her as her new case, which is I believe stealing a vehicle.
All right, can I see the file on Destiny Argumendo? I'm sorry, you can step behind the line.
Oh,
All right, Destiny, come down, please.
And Judge, so in this, she has a violation of condition number 1. I'm not sure if defense was appointed on that new case, but that would be probably what we'd be focusing on. While that was happening and she has access to the discovery, we were gonna see if maybe the defendant could be evaluated for the drug court.
All right.
While that's pending.
All right, probation. On Argumendo,
Yes, ma'am.
they're asking that she, I guess, do a pre-screening for felony drug court. Okay, but we're not going to hear the motion today. All right, Ms. Berger, can you set this for a contested in 10 days?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh.
Are there mental health issues?
I am going through problems, but
I can't understand a word you're saying.
I was having mental problems, but I'm okay. I'm okay now.
My understanding is the drugs were the biggest issue.
All right, can somebody have her evaluated? If you want to have her evaluated for mental health?
Yes, please.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, we're going to need a competency.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's her attorney, Cheryl Patterson.
Yes. And then do I need to just reset or?
No, it's Judge, do you want me to set it out further out than May 4th?
Let's keep it on May 4th, but just to see where everything is, because we may get some information from the jail. All right, Daniel Salinas. Yes, what is happening with this case?
I think that we have an agreement to alter the minutes.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Could I see the file on Daniel Salinas, please? And then after that, I want to see the file on Chris Lind. Yes, L-Y-N-D. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 4827, State of Texas versus Daniel Ortega Salinas. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Travis Banks in the state of Texas.
Lorraine Ephraim for Mr. Salinas.
Are you Mr. Salinas? Going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, and state's motion to supplement motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review those with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes.
Are you the same Daniel Ortega Salinas who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 4827 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on June 9, 2022 for a term of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Daniel Ortega Salinas did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of August 2022 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. We have with explanation, Judge, but I think we have an agreement.
All right, state.
And yes, with that, the state will waive and abandon the other allegations.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Salinas, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? I'm sorry?
Yes.
What's your answer to that question?
Yes. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
The agreement for ISF. No, we have an agreement.
No.
For ISF.
No, I want you to listen to my question and only answer my question.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you pled true to violation of condition number 4, right?
Yes.
All right, do you understand by pleading true to that, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison? Did you understand?
I'm sorry, I'm not too good at the law, man. I'm really new at getting in trouble, really. Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true and sentence you up to 20 years in prison? Did you understand?
Of course, that one, yes, ma'am, yes,
All right, knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
yes, ma'am.
All right, the court would find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, the agreement and the state's recommendation is that the court deny the motion and alter and amend the defendant's conditions of probation to include ISF, the state ISF cognitive track, and that there be zero tolerance for any further violations.
That's our understanding, Your Honor.
All right, I see that he had a make evaluation. Is he going to be able to complete the state ISF cognitive?
Well, we're hopeful that that's good. There's a mental health evaluation, I understand, scheduled for May 5th. And he does have some significant medical conditions, but we're hopeful that upon examination, they will take him to that program. He's agreeing to go to that program. And his father had relayed to me that he felt like he would benefit from that program. So I think he'll probably be in county for a few weeks getting the mental health eval done and the medical workup done.
All right, I don't know if they'll accept him in ISF if he has medical plus the mental.
I have a concern about that too, Judge. But I felt like maybe we need that mental health eval to understand what would serve his needs the best.
Your Honor, we're gonna, the process to get him screened in order to go to the facility will include his medical. And we do have a mental health evaluation already scheduled.
Okay. All right, then the court would deny the motion of alternate amend conditions to include ISF cognitive and also the mental health evaluation in custody. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, on Chris Lynn. Ms. Ferguson. We're going to recall Lynn for May 1st. All right, could Juan Cuellar? Did we already complete Juan Cuellar? Okay. And then let me see Clayton Russell. Clayton Russell, come forward. Norma, give him a reset for May 1st. Mr. Russell, we're going to bring you back on May 1st. Thank you. Thanks for your patience. Your attorney didn't show.
So she said he was going to another court.
All right. We'll bring you back on May 1st. And Ms. Ferguson, if you'll give him the reset form.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna take care of it.
All right, thank you. All right, what is happening with Blas Casamero?
Your Honor.
All right.
Well, that's what I'm looking at right now. Mr. Russell?
Okay.
Yes.
All right, let me see the file on Gloria Roscoe. Norma on Gloria Roscoe. Let Mr. McLean know his client didn't appear by Zoom, so I'm not going to allow her to appear by Zoom. We're going to recall it for May 1st. And his client needs to be in person. Okay. All right, and then Oscar Martinez with Mr. Del Leon. And also, could I see the file on Brandon Benavides? And Norma on Brandon Benavides, we'll recall this back on May 1st as well. No, I do not. So the people we have left is Oscar Martinez.
Your Honor.
Hi.
Mr. Martinez,
Okay,
we're ready to proceed. Let's go.
all righty. Can I see the file on Oscar Martinez, please?
I don't see my client though.
Oh,
I believe Sheriff Salazar doesn't want to,
It's almost 12 o'clock, Judge.
but it's not 12 o'clock.
yeah, but it's, yeah. But yeah, we'll have to recall your client.
I'm sorry, it's 11:57. Your Honor. The Zoom can look at my 11:57.
11:57, Batman, okay. So we'll recall your guy for Monday.
Monday.
We'll take care of it.
Okay, I'll do it Monday.
I mean, otherwise we can see if Miguel Nahara can take it sooner.
Judge, you have to send a prosecutor down there.
Yeah. Oh,
So it's difficult for them.
all right, so we'll come back on May 1st.
Hey, first, that's fine.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, we'll do that on May 1st. Well, you know what? He's scheduled for discovery on May 4th. Do you want to just put it on May 4th? Or you want to know May 1st?
It is a busy day on May 1st. Let me look at May 4th real quick
Okay.
before I answer your question. Yeah, let's do May 4th, Your Honor. That's
Okay.
fine. We'll
So
just
Norma,
get that.
it'll be May 4th. He's already in the system for May 4th. All right, so we just have two pleas and then
Good.
if you can,
I'm hanging.
all right, because then maybe you can walk with me to the location.
Sounds good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, two things left.
Yeah.
Are they ready?
No, but well, she's doing swearing him in.
I'll be here, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, can I first?
Sure.
I've got Ms. Roger Nick Jones on the docket. The court reset her for Monday. Is it possible to be back Wednesday for plea?
It'll have to be Monday, because Wednesday is trial.
Okay,
All right,
so, okay, let me ask.
all right. See you back on Monday. We'll do these two, please, and then we'll have our Then we're done. Did we already take up Ernie Sanchez?
He's downstairs, Your Honor.
All right, we're gonna bring that back on May 1st. Could I see the file on Ernie Sanchez? Norma, recall Ernie Sanchez for May 1st. Yes, thank you.
May 1st.
Oh,
First at night.
May 1st. Are you gonna do that? I think. I saw it. I literally.
all right, the court is calling 2023 CR 1288, State of Texas versus Blas Casimiro. Could I have parties announce and approach for the record for the state?
Lindsay Shock, the state.
Defense?
Valentina Fogo from Mr. Blas Casimiro.
Are you Mr. Casimiro? All right, counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have, and yes, I did.
The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Casimiro, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision and also application for deferred adjudication. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them and did you sign them?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm sorry to interrupt the court, but the state does have a motion
A motion for,
to amend the indictment.
oh, we'll get to that. Just give me a
Okay, thank
second.
you.
No problem. All right. And I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, you are.
State, do you have any motions?
We do, Judge. The state would make an oral motion to amend the indictment where it reads enhancement allegations. We would change instead of county court number 6, we would change that to read county court number 12. No objections, Your Honor, and we'll waive 10 days to prepare.
All right. Do you have any objections to proceeding?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Casimiro, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with evading arrest, detention, second or more? That is a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he is and he was.
Mr. Casimiro, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
No, Your Honor. Oh, yes, I've been satisfied.
All right. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, state recommends deferred adjudication. They will take in consideration 694997. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, there being such motions.
No, Your Honor.
Showing you outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There may be a MIC evaluation and a top evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
At this time, the state offer states exhibit 1 and all attached.
Any objections? Show you what's entitled waiver consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulation. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, he's accepted responsibility and we would respectfully request to follow the bargaining agreement.
All right, Mr. Casimiro, have you ever had a mental health evaluation or mental health issues?
When I was younger,
All right, were you ever diagnosed with anything?
just ADHD, schizophrenia.
All right, do you live by yourself or with someone?
My mother.
Okay, do you have any children?
No.
Are you employed or receive SSI?
I have no employment.
Do you receive SSI?
No, ma'am.
All right, and does your mother want you living with her?
From right now, yes. I talked to her yesterday. She said yes.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication, taking consideration 694,997. We'll do a MIC evaluation. Are you on any type of medications at the jail?
No.
All right. There's to be 100 hours of community service restitution, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs, TAP evaluation. That can be done while he's out of custody. If you miss any of these appointments, you're going to end up having these evaluations done in custody. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until the MIC evaluation is completed. And let's do a referral to Center for Healthcare Services, proof of employment or SSI within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Mr. Blas, do you need anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. If there's anything you need, just let your probation officer or the court know, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank
Your
you.
Honor.
All right, Mr. McLean, we've reset your cases. Your clients did not show.
Okay, I appreciate that, Judge. You're always so good to me. I just got done with that docket. And so what day do we reset them to?
Let me see. May 1st.
May 1st. Okay, so perfect. Next Monday.
Yes.
And that was obviously Ms. Orozco,
Yes,
Brandon Benavides as well.
yes.
And I think now that third one got reset to another day. I think it's like May 4th.
Yes.
So but it's just those two. Okay, I'm putting them on my calendar now. Judge, I apologize so much for missing yesterday. I got stuck over on the civil side and I could not get out.
Okay, no problem.
I
All
will
right,
see
and
you.
we're just doing, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too. I appreciate you. Thank you so
All
much.
right, and we're just doing the plea on this. On Mr., is it just a plea on his case? The attorney on the back row, Collins. Has he gone on the paperwork with his client? Oh. Collins, he has this person back here. No, the defense attorney.
Oh, Michael Collins, he told him to come back on Monday.
No, I mean, what is the name of this
That's
attorney?
Mr. White.
Oh, Mr. White, has he completed the paperwork?
I have no idea.
Okay. Have you completed the paperwork, Mr. White? Okay, all right, well, let's swear him in. And then Deputy Laura, you can take everyone else back if they're not needed.
There's needed.
Okay, they're needed.
You're on me,
Yes.
Thank you.
He has to send this form to.
There you go. Thank you. All right, so Adrian on he's ready to be sworn in. And Norma, do you need my docket sheet? Okay. All right. This is the last one. You feel better? Hey. Oh, I'm so glad.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for your.
Michael Williams.
Like, I told Marina like the night before, I was like. So like, not to come in and like, she's like, "I have something for you, like, where?
All right, Mr. White, if your client would come on down, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Court is calling 2023 CR 2280 State of Texas versus Michael Williams. That parties announced for the record for the state.
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense.
Michael White for defense, Your Honor.
Are you Mr. Williams? Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Williams, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with unlawfully carrying a weapon with felony convictions, which makes this a second-degree felony? Range punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? All right, the range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Sure.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses? Has your client been able to provide you with any
Yes, Your Honor.
defenses? Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Williams, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's been a long day. The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There are no applications. Is there an application?
There was supposed to be an application. We were opposed to community supervision.
All right. Are you applying for probation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The court doesn't have that, but for the record, I'll note that you're applying for probation and that there is no application for deferred adjudication. This case is run concurrent with County Court Cause number 689-077. The state will take in consideration 699-697. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions? Have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
State offer states exhibit 1 in all attachments.
Any objections?
No objection.
Showing you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty and we'll set this for a hearing for sentencing. What date, Ms. Ferguson? Is there going to be a TAP evaluation needed?
No, yeah.
All right. All right, we're going to come back on June 15th. On June 15th, I'll receive a PSI report. I'll base my decision on an application based upon that PSI report and any other evidence that's presented to me, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty, we are done for today and we won't see people back till May 1st because it's